Well, wherever Jesus went, he always drew a large crowd around him. People would flock to him, they would want him to be healing their sick relatives, or others would just come and bombard Jesus with questions. And some of those who bombarded him with questions were the Pharisees, and they were always sort of trying to trip him up and catch him out and prove that he was some kind of fraud, which of course he wasn't. And it was always the Pharisees who went away with the tails between their legs. And Jesus was in Jerusalem one day. In fact, it was the final week of his life. The usual crowds were flocking around him, and a Pharisee asked him a question. And we can read about it in Mark's Gospel, chapter 12. And the Pharisee came up and he asked him, of all the commandments, which is the most important? And Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. It's the first important commandment. And the second is this: love your neighbour as yourself. Well, that's what we're called to do by Jesus, is love God with all our heart, with all our mind, with all our soul, with all our strength. And we know, don't we, from our human experience, that that's not always that easy. Love requires us to be open and to be vulnerable, and some of our human experiences sort of tell us not to do that. Some people might have been hurt, and it's not always that easy just to open our hearts. But that's what we have to do. And I just want to tell you about how and when I decided to open my heart to Jesus. I was about 35 years old. I had been going to church, and I'd seen in other Christians something that was a little bit different, a little bit special. I knew that I wanted what they had. And I was always told about God loves you and all the rest, but I knew I was a closed book. I was closed down to that. But one day I decided that I was going to open my heart a little bit. You see, my life was, it was good. I had a great job, we had great holidays, we had a nice house and a nice car. I'm sorry to anybody who likes those testimonies that are about, I was in the gutter, I was on drugs, I went to prison, and then I found Jesus and now my life's perfect. Actually, my life was pretty good. But I knew deep down that actually I needed something else in my life rather than just Graham Dunn controlling everything, because I knew how flawed I was and how likely I was to be messing things up. And so one day I just realised I needed to invite God into my life, and I took that step, took it at home actually, and I just said, look, God, if you are there, I just want to open my heart and invite you in. It was a tiny step, but do you know what happened? God came racing through. He came through, racing through from the dawn of creation, when there was a place in his eternal kingdom for Graham Dunn and for you. And God came racing through and he met me. I took that tiny little step, but God took that giant leap and said, look, Graham, I love you. I want to walk with you. And there was that sense of belonging to God, and little by little I was able just to open up my heart more and more and to develop that relationship with God. And really what I want to say to everybody today is just open your heart to God. And some of you might never have done that. Well, just open it a little bit, let God in, and then together you and God can go on an amazing journey and you can build your relationship with him. But maybe there'll be other people listening to this. And they, oh yeah, I did that years ago. I made my commitment. I did this. I was baptized. I was all the rest of it. Well, I want to say to you that opening our heart to God is an ongoing process. And I found this year tough, really tough, for all sorts of different reasons, not just COVID, but COVID has made it particularly tough. And one of the things that I have discovered is that every day I need to be opening my heart to God, allowing God in to minister into my life, to give me hope that I need for the future, to help me to be the dad that I need to be the husband that I need to be. And I just want to say to you all, just keep opening your hearts as that ongoing process of allowing God in to help you to be the people that he calls you to be. Thank you.